Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to resume the Leo season, the tarot readings for the Leo idols in the season. So yes, I'm going to be reading for GD, for G-Dragon, Big Bang's G-Dragon. So yeah, let's begin with him and the cards that he got. He got the Two of Pentacles, Five of Swords in reversed, Ace of Wands, the Chariot, and the Nine of Cups in reversed. And then from the Oracle, he got the card of Jupiter in Pisces, Seduction. So yeah, it's very interesting. This Two of Pentacles, I believe that it has to do with um, I think I got a very similar card when I read for him and his relationship with YG, or if he will continue or not with YG. And I had this sort of duality in him, this like, okay, I'm not deciding yet, like, and I'm doing this on purpose, like, it's not that it's that difficult, or is that complex for me to make a decision now, but I think that he's prolonging it. He's like stretching it, and I think that he does it because he has his reasons, and probably he doesn't want to choose yet. He has his perspective, and probably his perspective is that he is at a place in his life where he doesn't want to be told. I think that he doesn't like the feeling of being rushed, of people being like, oh, you need to make this now, you need to release this now, you need to do this now. I think that he's in a place in his life where he's taking things like slowly, especially when it comes to business. And he's also playing with a lot of different, possibilities. So yeah, I believe he has a purpose in doing this, and also because maybe he's like evaluating like other offers, and I think that he does this with everything in his life. Is he's like evaluating, like, sort of also putting to a test a lot of his relationships, like, okay, how stable are we, how close as friends are we, are you my friend, like, um are you a valuable person in my life? Like, he's sort of like, um sort of playing with what's going on in his life. Also trying to understand a few things, um with the Five of Swords in reverse, I think that he's also choosing not to argue with people, not to confront people, not to have like sort of silly arguments with people. I think that this period has been very challenging for him, because I believe that he's sort of like choosing peace. He's sort of avoiding confrontation, and I think that somehow people want him to confront or to face certain things, or they want to get like a sort of a statement out of GD. They want him to say certain things about others, and he's like so against this. He's so against this. He's like, I'm not going to talk bad about my company. I'm not going to talk bad about the CEO, about the members. He's like, I'm not doing that. He's like, I'm not doing this. And this is why we start with the Two of Pentacles, because probably there's a lot of money in involved in these people wanting an interview with him, wanting to get him to say certain things to spark a sort of like conflict, and being like, oh, GD said this, oh my God, and let's make this a headline, and I think that he felt like he had arguments before, probably when he was like younger, and now he's like, I'm not going to participate in these arguments. Like, you people, you fight with the wall, like, you talk to the wall, and you convince yourself of whatever you want to think about me. I'm not, I'm and he's like, I could say a few things because he has. I wouldn't say his um, the way he would say things or his thoughts are controversial, but it could hurt some people. So he's like, I better do not say anything. And with the ace of wands in the middle, he's definitely like creating something new. He's sort of creating something individual. I think that it has to do with him, his individual work. I don't I don't know. I'm not sure if it's music. I think that it sort of has to do with another, business or another part um, of his creation, But I sense that he is like the creative chief, like he's the one in power, or he came up with the idea and others are working on it. And I think that he's very passionate about it and also very, very honest about this. This is something that he wants to create, he wants to do. And probably, I don't know, maybe it also has his name. And that's why it's considered so like a great project. I think that here with the ace of wands in the middle is like, I still have a lot of ideas to release. Like you guys have no idea. I'm not resting. Like I'm not taking a break. I've always been working, something like this. It's just that I think that we are talking about Leo season, Leo idols, and I think that he's like also um, just centering on himself, because I see the ace of wands here standing alone, and I'm like, this is him like focusing on himself. And I think that he's trying to remain like unbothered by all these people gossiping about things that I think that people just want to drag him to other people's business. I don't know if they want him to talk about certain people or something like this. Um, and they are like, oh my, because GD said this. And they want to start like a fight, or they want to start like a war between the fandoms or something like this. And he's like, I don't need to do this. I have my creation. My creation speaks for me. I release something that it's my design, or it's got my name on it, and my work speaks about it. It speaks of me. So he's like separating himself, never losing passion, never losing motivation. Um, he's feeling very 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 centered, very he's doing well. He's doing well. He's actually like feeling stronger. I think that he's feeling very like like very stable in his career, and also being like, okay, wherever I want to, I can just give something to the people, to my fans. But he's like, I'm going to move when the time is right. Here we have the chariot. So I think that there's something about he will move when he feels it in his heart. When he's like, okay, I feel like emotionally I want to do this, or I want to keep advancing, and just like bringing the fans with me, and let them accompany me in this process, in this new path. um but he's like a guy that he's like, I always believed in myself. I always trust in myself. Like he's like, I don't know about others. This is something that I think that is very noticeable in the reading, that he's like, I don't want to talk about others. I don't care how others do their things, their business. This is them. It's like sort of him reclaiming also this reading. Like sometimes when I read for people, especially younger idols, I do get that they often, in the reading, like it's supposed to be about them, but they talk about their group or they talk about other people. But in here, GD is like, this is about me, and this is about my life, and this is about my desires. So he's still has desire to keep moving. And with the chariot, he will eventually continue. You will see him more, he will interact more. Um, but all at his pace, I think that he's someone that you cannot tell him how and when to do things. You will have to trust him and trust that he will release something very soon, and that he's going to advance definitely. Um, but then with the nine of cups in reverse, I think that also, he's going to advance, and probably he's going to release some projects and new things. But there's something about him, sort of like probably he comes to a place where he's not that satisfied, especially emotionally. I think that sometimes it's very lonely to be him. It's like, like no one understands his experience. No one has lived what he had lived in the industry. Um, and this is not about to say that he's better than other people. It's just that he's different. His energy is very different. The way he views relationships is very different. He had witnessed also a lot of things, a lot of people coming and going out of his life. So he's like, also evaluating all this. And with the nine of cups in reverse, it's like, he's not going to keep working for, getting more recognition or getting more awards, because actually he has all the awards. He has all the recognition. And I think that he's going to come to this place like at the end of this year where he's like, I actually like, I don't know if I'm like, if I think that he has to revalue what is happiness for him, because there's a sense of like, yeah, I have it all, but I still cannot call it happiness. There's a void inside of him that doesn't allow him to actually like, you know sort of like appreciate or get emotional or sensitive about achievements, because I believe he had achieved so much that he sort of is like, okay, what's next? What's my next goal? I already completed all the goals in my life. Like, so he has to keep moving forward, but also keep like working with what makes him happy as an individual, to search for that happiness, and to also recognize that sort of bittersweet feeling, of like, yeah, I have everything, but I don't know if I'm happy, I don't know. um and then the card from the oracle is the card of seduction, Jupiter in Pisces. So he's getting a lot of offers. He's being seduced with a lot of offers. He's going to continue getting a lot of offers to participate in some events with some people, people wanting him to be in at their parties, at their events, working with him, just showing up. He's very demanded. And yes, he's also seducing the audience with like, okay, like, you really want to know what am I going to do with my career, right? So he's like, you can believe whatever you want to believe, because the Pisces energy is all about, like a sort of a bit of deceiveness, like you think that you see what I'm about, but you have no idea. So he's going to surprise a lot of people, and also he's playing still with what he wants to do. He hasn't made up his mind yet about, where he's going, but definitely he's advancing. So yes, be patient and wait for his new project that I believe is going to be very, very successful, and it's going to be also very like, people are going to see him coming, definitely, but it's going to be very, very glamorous and very passionate, him Also, him connecting with his masculinity, with his fire, with his passion, also with a bit of anger, it could be also, but yes, being very raw, being very strong, and like making a very impactful comeback. So yes, guys, this is all I have for him. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.